fellow sassafras, badass, bombshell herself, that Cara King, and we are gonna talk about Like a Bomb.
Yes, hi, Jessi. This is one of my favorites, and I'm super, super excited that we both coordinated and we get to talk about this song because this was so much fun to make.
It was. I'm really happy that I got to make it with you because your voice is amazing. Our own personal little superstar. I'm excited because I really love this song, and I feel like it's July 1st. Technically, now we're recording. We just dropped the song on Bandcamp. It'll be on DSPs later in the month on my birthday because it's Leo season, and we have to do it right. Now I know it's a little.
We were gonna call it Lioness too.
We were gonna call it Lioness at first.
That was the working title because I couldn't. I was gonna listen back to it. And I couldn't find it on my computer at first because I was like a bomb, and I had I couldn't find it, and then I was like, wait, what if it's the working title? Found it.
Yeah, that's right. Because I love that line in it that I put. Thank you for trying, but you're trying to play with a lion.
Thank you for trying, but you're trying to play with a lion. Fragile like a ball.
That's everything to me. As a Leo and a triple fire sign, because Leo, Sun, Aries, Moon, and Sagittarius rising. Fire, fire, fire. And I feel like this song just embodies so much Leo energy. Like, I can see why we were going to call it Lioness at first. It makes total sense.
We were literally going to call it Lioness based just off that line.
Yeah.
We were like, that's it. That's the vibe.
Right. That's what we're going for. But then it really didn't make any sense to keep that as the title once we got to the hook portion.
I mean, yeah, the fact that we didn't really say Lioness anywhere
else. Nowhere else. I think we intended to in like the second verse, but we ended up saying, you're such a liar, didn't know I was a viper. So once we made that, we're like, we can't keep it.
That's the thing. It was just that line was too good. Because also I'm a Slytherin, so it spoke the Slytherin in me. And I was like, didn't know I was a viper. Or whatever they do in dodgeball.
Yes, I'm here for it. It's so good. It's so fun to write. And we definitely have to give a shout out to GeoWorks, Corey Young on that badass guitar.
Oh, the track slaps on this song. I keep listening to it over and over. And Isaiah Jones, I believe, on writing as well.
Absolutely. I was going to say that next. Yep. Absolutely, Isaiah.
That was a fun day, all in all. That was a really cool session.
It was. The thing about it is that it didn't start out as a session. Remember, we were all just hanging out, and we wanted to get Corey into like doing collabs with us because we had already collaborated on so many things. You, me, and Gio, and it was like, let's get him in. Let's get him in. Exactly. We're like, let's get Corey in, and so like he came to the session. And Isaiah had wanted to work with me for a while. And so I was like, well, we're going to do a thing, like an impromptu hanging out movie night thing. We call it movie night, even though we never end up watching movies, like, ever.
Yeah. Remember that time we had to, which we were like, okay, let's watch a real movie for movie night. And we scheduled Hamilton, and it was like literally the most complex thing we've ever had to organize.
Yes, but we ended up creating Lighthouse that night, which just came out. Yes. Definitely check out Lighthouse on all DSPs because it's amazing.
I was going to say Heaven, but that wasn't in the impromptu session, was it?
No, that was in the collab.
Okay.
But Lighthouse is amazing.
They're all together to me. I'm like,
we did this and we did this and we did this. Yes. But it's good though. But Lighthouse wasn't impromptu because we were supposed to watch a movie again and ended up making music, and that happens to us a lot. But it was so great.
I know you're my lighthouse, guiding me home. You'll be there to lift me up. I know I'm not alone. You are my safety when the storm is raging. You are my haven when hope is forsaken. I know you're my lighthouse, guiding me home.
Yeah, I feel like it's either a heart-to-heart or a song. We can't just sit and watch things together because we just have too much to say.
It's true. And we express ourselves through music. so effortlessly, especially when we're together. That yeah, eventually we'll get to
we watch
watching.
something and we like the song and we're like, let's write something like that. And then we go.
And then there's that. Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Or fortunately, depending on how
Yes.
you look at it. Because I'm not sad. Like, so if you remember, when Corey came in, Gio was like trying to explain to him how collabs go. And I said what I always say, Gio, let's not tell, let's show. Like, show how it's done. This is what we do. Because people, they don't learn through words, they learn through seeing. Seeing is believing. So then Gio was like, Corey, give me a badass guitar riff. And Corey's like, okay, pulls up his guitar, and we're just like, oh, yes. And we go to work, right? So good.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's really difficult sometimes, or it's not difficult to explain, but I think sometimes people struggle to wrap their heads around our process.
Yeah.
Because we are doing it so kind of easily, so quickly, remotely.
Yes, right, because you were in
I was in Auckland at the time in New Zealand.
New Zealand. That's right. And Gio's in San Diego, and I'm in undisclosed locations somewhere in the world.
Yeah, so we were literally organizing 3 different time zones.
Yeah, at the very least. Yeah. And we do it through Zoom, just like we're having this conversation with Zoom. We work through Zoom, and honestly, that's the best. Like, to me, as an introvert, that's a dream come true. Like,
it's really nice being able to meet with people in my own home.
In our pajama pants, or leggings.
Exactly, and I love seeing people's pets. I love it. I love it when your pets go on.
You just had an entire performance by Jasper. It's called "Love Me Now." I can't wait another minute. Love me now.
Interpretive dance by Dog Flower Jasper.
He was just so into it. I'm like, your timing is perfect. Bravo.
He really is a rising star. But yeah,
this was exciting. Thank you so much for being an amazing collaborator. Honestly, we have so many songs together. I can't wait for the world to hear them. You're fabulous.
Jessi, I love working with you so much. It's so easy and it's so fun. And that's literally what more do you want from something that you do for work? Right? You're my favorite collaborator, my favorite coworker. That's the coworker you go into work to see, that's you.
Aw, that's so nice. I want to ask you one quick question. You've worked with a lot of producers. Is there a difference to you for working with a female producer like myself versus working with the guys?
Something that I've noticed in working with female producers, which also is something that's super new for me, and it's really been so nice. It's been incredibly refreshing, simply because, and even working with, female engineers as well. It's so nice because it's, a relationship where traditionally it's kind of a power dynamic between singers/writers and the producers, who a lot of times tend to be gatekeepery or so on. If you look at the archaic, or well, not that archaic, but the older model of how things were done in the industry, right? But even in, working with people that are, we come up together, whatever, the dynamic in working with female producers has been different for me in the sense that it's such a collaborative process. I love how with, producers like you and Indigo, you were so interested in kind of gathering as much information from me as possible. And I feel like that's very rare with male producers. It's not, it's not like it never happens, but it's very rare, and it's interesting because that's something that's always there. It's kind of more present with female producers off the bat.
Right. Jasper, get down. Go. There he goes. We're going to show again.
Another shot for his 15 seconds of fame. But yeah, I think that female producers, or at least in my experience, I've felt like female producers are much more intuitive when it comes to, if they're making a beat for you for something, they ask a lot of questions. They are way more open to creating your vision. And this is also from the standpoint of, you know, collaborating with people in making something that's for me. So it's also, you know, that element to it. But the openness, the willingness to deliver, to create your vision, the willingness to collaborate on your vision is something that across the board has struck me when working with female producers. It's not just that they kill their craft. It's not just that they are extremely organized, they're extremely cordial, professional, and they know how to work a deadline. You know, like they are the most professional. There's never like a weird vibe, like you kind of feel safe, but also something that's very, you know, different just in general to me was just that openness, that curiosity, that willingness to experiment creatively and kind of go where your vision is going.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yes. I want to know, how would you say your artistry has evolved over the past 2 years? And where do you see it going?
Ooh, big one. Okay, so you know very well that my artistry was sort of something I just like had a toe in. You know, it was like, oh, I see, kind of maybe. You know, like I was really focused on being a producer, producing tracks and songs and stuff. And I struggled a lot with coming to terms with the artist inside, even though that's always what I wanted to be. It was difficult for me, and vocally, I felt like I had this lock on my throat. That was some kind of energetic, magical spell of a lock that I had been trying to unlock forever. And I tried to work with different people to do it, and they tried to do it, and I was just like, man. And I wasn't quite giving up, but I was resolving to, you know, I mean, I'm doing well as a producer. I was resolving, it's like, you know, I'll just do that, and I'll sing the song occasionally, here and there, you know, put something out once in a while. And then you and I were supposed to do a session the very first time we were supposed to collaborate, right? And we didn't end up collaborating. We ended up talking for 8 hours. Do you remember that? 8 hours. 8.
That's a long time period. That's a very long time in introvert hours. Like,
right? I think it's like dog years. So 1 hour is like 7. Each hour is like 7. But it didn't feel that way.
We tripped together during that one conversation.
Right. But like, and this happens, you know, you usually spend some time to get to know someone you're collaborating with before you jump right in. Neither one of us expected it to be an 8-hour conversation. What was really funny was like at hour 7, we're like, man, we've been talking for 10 hours. And then we talked an hour longer.
Yes, exactly. We're like, oh, wow, it's been forever. Anyway.
Let's go. But during that conversation, as you well know, like we talked about my childhood and we talked about my voice and, you know, being told by my dad to shut up when I was singing and, you know, working with different male people in the industry who had a certain idea of what a voice was supposed to sound like that typically was very big, very gospel-y, which wasn't what my voice naturally is, at least in my perception of it at the time. Although I do killing some Adele Hello these days. But talking to you, like, I'll never forget what you said to me. You said, you have a voice and you have a right to be heard and you have a right to use it. And it was just like some kind of magic fairy godmother spell that just like, and all the chains and locks fell off. And I was like, whoa, what just happened to me? And I think like the next day I recorded something and played it for you. You were just like, who is this girl that just showed up? I was like, I don't know, but you set her free. And I will never be able to repay you for that. And I hope you know that. I'm eternally grateful for you seeing me, you know? I mean, it could have been a very different dynamic where I'm the producer and you're the artist, but it wasn't. It was just like two friends hanging out. Oh, by the way, you know, awesome. And I'm so grateful for that. I really, really, truly am. Really, really.
You're so special to me. And honestly, that, like, being able to give you a little bit of insight and you taking that and being able to like use that as a key to resolve your essentially your own obstacles, like how you were holding yourself back. Like that was so powerful, for me to see, to be like, wow, given the right tools, as a human, you can really change things about yourself. And this is something so small because it was a mental block into something that you could already really do. It was such a small thing, but to see you use literally like your mental power to do something to create a physical change, it was so powerful for me that it honestly, I feel like it was as powerful for me as it was for you. Like, you kind of, just deciding to move past something, or, deciding to work through it and deciding to own your power and stepping into it. That is something that just as a woman, as a person, is so beautiful to see. And I'm just so grateful, for Geo for somehow bringing us two together.
Yes. And Hard Drive. Shout out to Hard Drive.
Yes, shout out to Hard Drive.
We would not exist without.
Shout out to, the universe and all its
exactly. But speaking again, like what you're saying about women in power, like this is why I love Like a Bomb so much, because I feel like it embodies so much feminine energy, but in the most powerful of ways, because we are seen as the fairer sex, as the weaker sex, and we're like, no, we are fragile, but we're like, handle with care, because we have this much power to change the world around us. And just as a woman, realizing that and not being afraid to be that powerful in any room.
Yes, I think that's really beautiful, and I think that that's such a great way to put it. That's really what Like a Bomb is about, and that's really kind of what our experience has been, or at least from my perspective, has meeting you, becoming friends with you, working with you, has really allowed me to step into my own power. And I think this song is, as a woman and as an artist, and feeling kind of defrosting a little bit into like who I am as a creative, and feeling like I can own my space and own the right to like say what I have to say, and own the right to take up a little bit of space here, and make art and feel proud of it and want people to hear it. That be feeling okay to take up space and stepping into your power. That's really what this is about.
And now we have carte blanche, not just permission. We've given ourselves permission. We've given each other permission. We can do it. Anything we want. Thank you for being you.
Thank you for putting up with me.
Ah! Same.
Your compliments for your mama. I'm not interested in your drama. I'm no Lil Miss Smile 'cause you wanna. You're such a liar. You didn't know I was a viper. Friend.